start the Fawley Challenge Cup Junior Open Quads. Hartpury College, left-hand side of your screen, in that black, red and white versus Hinksey Sculling School, the blue and white of Hinksey, as they roar off the start line for the Friday of Henley Royal Regatta.
Yeah, what a matchup. And again, you know, Friday is just full of races you're looking forward to all the way through the campaign, and this one's certainly one of them. Hinksey blasted out of the blocks, and I just think what a whirlwind over a few years Hinksey have been having. You know, finalists in the Fawley in 2023, and here they are looking to step on again this year. And what a way to make a marker in the opening stages of this race. This has been, I think, one of the best starts we've seen out of the racing so far today.
Well, what a start from Hinksey. I was going to say it's going to be tight in these quads. You don't get much margin after the end of the island, but Hinksey have blasted out there. They've moved to a length, and there's no slowing down from them from the looks of it. No,
they're motoring here. But I think the thing for Hinksey this season has been their consistency. You know, there's been a couple of opportunities throughout the season they've perhaps been a little bit off or not quite hitting their peaks as well as they could do. And I think one of those opportunities was Marlow. You know, they were 12th in the time trial at Marlow, but then come the B final that they raced in, the time that they produced, I think, would have put them 4th in the A final. So when they get it, this Hinksey crew is magnificent, and I think we're seeing bits of that magnificence at the moment in the early stages of this race.
What are they doing then that's making them row so fast right here, do you think?
I just love their efficiency up at the front end. You know, they're not wasting any time with their catches. And, you know, sometimes with some of the quads, you'll see the athletes wash out a little bit out to the finish. But I think their effective length right the way through the drive phase is superb and really helping them inch away from Hartpury.
Yeah, it's a funny thing about a rowing boat. We are actually on this sliding seat, so you're moving direction twice within what we call one stroke. The crews that can keep that the most efficient, normally the ones that can keep moving away. And right now, looking back at the Hartpury crew, a little bit of wind. It's going to be a bit uncomfortable for those crews coming down here now this morning, but coming a bit further down the course, and Hinksey looked like they've extended that lead over Hartpury College.
Jess, I think we're now at the most important part of this race, because Hartpury are starting to wind it up, and this Hartpury crew, they're down at the moment, but we're not writing them off because they have had, you know, a really quite an impressive campaign. The camera angle there is, you know, it's showing they've got a lot of work to make up. So perhaps, you know, after a couple of barn burners that they've had in the opening stages, beating Nereid and Marist College, Canberra, you know, it's worth noting they were behind on both occasions at the barrier, the Fawley, to come through and beat them. So I think that's something that Hinksey will have been very conscious of, that if they're going to win this race, they've got to be at least a length or so up on Hartpury coming into the closing stages. And I think they've done a superb job of establishing, you know, a comfortable lead ahead of Hartpury at the moment.
Good stuff from Hartpury. They've had a tough week. They beat a strong Australian crew from Canberra yesterday, so maybe they thought some of the momentum was on their side. But exactly that, Fergus. You do not want to be sitting alongside a crew that you know have got a killer finish or a killer move. You want to close that door, don't you? And Hinksey, look at that, really relaxed now at that front end. And again, we talked about how little check there is on their boat, how little they're disrupting that stern. It's barely moving. You want to always keep moving back. And look at that, the drone just getting right in there, giving us a good view of the finish line. Henley Royal Regatta. See the church there, a good one for them to aim for. The bowman never wants to turn around and have a little look, but these are the moments to savour for Hinksey. As they're coming through the enclosure, you can hear the crowd either moored up on the booms or sitting on that bank, cheering you down, encouraging you down these closing stages of the regatta.
And it's a mix of experience in this Hinksey Sculling School crew. You know, in the bow seat and the stroke seat, you know, two 18-year-olds, but sandwiched in the middle of them, a pair of 16-year-olds. And I think this Henley experience, you know, particularly on the Friday, they'll be able to take that into, well, future racing and to come back next year as well. And to have the ability to perform like this under your belt already at such a young age, I think is brilliant to be able to have. Hartpury, though, in the distance, though, we can see them starting to wind up, go through the gears again. But, you know, they'll have had tired legs after that race against Nereid, against Marist College, Canberra. Sensational sprints on both of those occasions, but they've come up against a really, really solid crew in this Hinksey Sculling School.
The Fawley Challenge Cup, the Open Junior event, one of the most hotly contested events here, one of our biggest entries. To even get onto this start line is a feat itself. But today, Hartpury are winding it up. They're closing that gap on Hinksey, but they're going to run out of river as Hinksey take the rate of striking down. They get to enjoy those last few strokes. It was a tough day out on the course for Hartpury, but a really strong effort from those boys from Gloucestershire. But it's a win in the Fawley Challenge Cup for Hinksey Sculling School over Hartpury College.